What is up, you guys? Welcome to the Twink Revolution. I'm Sam.
I'm Gian.
And we're here with special guest, Christian at Lexapro on Twitter. And then we're here with Zach Langley Chi Chi from I'm So Popular podcast, who's popped his Eurovision cherry.
Yes, we were just watching Eurovision, the yearly spectacular of when the media gaze get to just go and inflict themselves upon the rest of the unsuspecting public of Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, well, now my cherry is popped and I feel worn out and used.
Perfect.
Yeah,
well, what do you think of Eurovision, Zach? You mean it's your first time?
I loved it. I have a little exposure to Eurovision because I've rewatched the Madonna clip, as I've mentioned countless times today, of her performing Like a Prayer and Dark Ballet over and over again, trying to discover a pearl of defense I could forge in her honor, which is very difficult because she screeches out of auto-tune the entire time and was performing on behalf of Israel. But nonetheless, I did my best and have seen a lot of it. So I was familiar with the rules. I have heard some of the music from when you and Gian talked about it with Thought Topics. But this was my first go through of the whole experience, and I found it thrilling, exciting, camp, cunt, and surprisingly very sexual. I loved it.
Yeah, your word of the night was cunt. Everything was cunt to you for at least the first half.
I know, it's because I woke up at 3 a.m. to do it, and my brain reverted to white gay mode where I can only say pussy or cunt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we'll go through the songs and discuss our views on them as a broader categorization. But who were your winners? Who is your projected winners for Eurovision? I mean, Christian, who did you think was going to win?
I said that France was going to win, which was a very controversial yet brave prediction.
Yeah.
So brave.
Ultimately wrong, but closer than other predictions in this group of homosexuals.
What about you, Zach?
I didn't really think very intelligently about this, so I was like, what songs did I like best? And I put Ukraine as number one. If I had been thinking more critically, I probably would have picked Switzerland or France to be the winner, but I picked Ukraine.
It was actually very impressive. I chose Ukraine, and so did Gian. The fact that the top 4 songs were all in not English is kind of groundbreaking, because they're typically always English songs. So the fact that the top 3 were all non-English, it was 2 French and 1, the winner, Italian, Italy. Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking, innovative.
Yeah. So
I loved it.
Italian X representation.
Yeah. I mean, for 26th place, so if you all didn't watch, there's 26 acts in the finale. The United Kingdom got 0 points from both categorizations. I mean, did that surprise any of you? What are your thoughts about that?
I'm only surprised in that I thought that Germany would have earned the 00. So that was the only reason why I was surprised by UK scoring 00, because I thought that should have gone to Germany.
The performance was a boot. I mean, I hated it. I was watching the semifinal clip of it, and it's just this guy standing on a circle with some big gay trumpets pointed at him, and it's very intolerable and very UK.
Yeah. What did you guys place?
Literally the most UK performance you could imagine.
What was your placement
horrendous
for him in predictions?
I put Germany.
Oh, I meant for UK. What was your placing?
Oh, I think I put it second to last or third to last.
Okay. So
I put it higher because I thought kind of the basicness of it would have resonated. So I actually had it 16.
Wow.
So I was way off.
So I put 24, which wasn't too far off.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Because then the next one was Germany, which got 3 points, which the fact they didn't get 0 is kind of remarkable, because it was so cringe and I would say camp, but it's not even camp. It was just kind of woke scoldy. I don't feel hate. I just feel sorry. You know what I mean?
Well, it's Taylor Swift. It's you need to calm down, and no one wants to hear that.
No, it was clearly a decision that was made by like a bunch of like woke tards sitting around a boardroom. Like, yes, this is going to be what's going to be like the good choice.
It's very Target ad.
Yes.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, Germany is known for like a very awful selection process, and the last few times they've chosen songs have been like horrible. Like their one before they got selected got 0 points, which I think actually was a better song than I Don't Feel Hate by Generic. So
it literally made me want to incinerate my residence permit that I had to wait for hours in the line at the KVR to get. So
no, and it's so embarrassing. Like, I'm German, and it's like I want to be able to root for someone, and so like I went and being like, I can't wait to see what Germany puts on the table, and then it's like a bleached like little straight boy with no genitals and a pink jacket like flapping around, going sorry, haha, happy.
Yeah, like a t-shirt blazer. What the fuck was that?
That's evil. Criminal. That's what it is.
Criminal.
Was he your last place for all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, it was my last place as well. So the 24th place was Spain, with Voy, what is it called? Voy something. It was about his grandma, so who really cares? Voy Quadarme by Blas Canto. He got 6 points. What was your 5 Spain's?
Well, I did not like it.
I didn't really. He wasn't very inky. It was very unremarkable.
Well, I don't like men singing most of the time unless
Same.
It's like really emotional and like dramatic and like I mean this was emotional and dramatic, but like in the most heterosexual way possible.
Yeah, based on the semifinals performance, I thought it was going to do better. For me, honestly, I had it mid-tier, so I was a bit surprised to watch the finale performance and just watch him completely tank. And I kind of thought, I don't know, I thought the sympathy vote would have carried him a bit further. But yeah, no, in the end, he was a major disappointment. I placed Spain 19.
Wow.
So the thing about this year is that any man who managed to sing a chorus should have won. Like, that's just by default, because it was the year of no chorus.
Yeah.
Literally, there was, 4 girls with crystal dresses?
And no chorus.
And no chorus. And honestly, for what is a song contest, I really regard a chorus as important.
So next we have 23rd place. We have the Netherlands with Birth of a New Age by Django McCroy. God awful woke tard song. I mean, it's like,
uncomfortable to watch, isn't it? Like it just sucks. It's like you can just see the wheels turning and like these people in boardrooms like tritely electing like what they think diversity is, and then it's just embarrassing and painful to sit through.
Yeah. What did you guys place the Netherlands?
But the Netherlands had to lose, right? Like that was kind of the goal for them, is they didn't necessarily want to win again this year.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a song where they were trying to show some cultural diversity, but like not win. And they clearly chose a song that would never win. Like
never.
But still make them look charitable in the end. Right?
Yeah.
Charitable.
Like, let's have a colonization song about like liberation while we have like our country host Eurovision. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I put it at 18 because I thought it was like just like middling enough that like people would kind of give it like a passive vote, but it appears that like the public was like pretty.
Wait, I also had it at 18 because I also thought that the kind of woke nature of it would carry a bit further than it did.
I underestimated the basedness of the European public.
Yeah.
Of the populace.
Yeah.
Europe's
of the unwashed masses.
Like everyone thinks Europe's the really woke one, but like if you go to the masses, it's not a woke like continent. It's like gonna vote for like what they think is best, not for what's the woke signals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Netherlands is 22nd, so like they weren't favorable at all. I think the next one that was really, for at least me, surprising was San Marino getting 22nd and Adrenalina. Like the fact they did so low was like shocking to me because I had them 4th place.
I had them fifth. I thought they were going to do amazing. Like I thought the Flo Rida combination was really going to carry, and I enjoyed the performance. I mean, I thought the backup dancers kind of detracted from what was happening, but overall, I thought it was something that was really fun and exciting. And yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that one, to be honest.
I put it at number 17 because I thought it was like fun and exciting, but like not much else.
Yeah.
Like, I figured that the like fun, exciting, like K-pop-esque stuff would be rocketed to the top only if it had like some exciting like gimmick or twist, and this didn't really have that. It was just good, and I like Flo Rida in it. I think that's really cool. I really enjoyed the performance. I just thought it wouldn't do very well.
Yeah. I think if Flo Rida wasn't there, it wouldn't have made it as exceptional as it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was
Definitely.
good, but it wasn't like once Flo Rida came out and surprised the audience, it was like, oh fuck. Like they really brought some like big name from like the early 2000s, which is like the generation Europe still trapped in.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do we have next? We have Albania, you know, serving some look. She was one of the crystal dress wearers. She sang Karma, and Anxhalea, I don't know how to say her name, but she got 21st place. Honestly, that was very similar to like I also put 21st, so I actually have one right.
Yay,
Okay.
we're tied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She killed it. Like, not a winner, but she served the look and a song.
I had her 14th. I really kind of thought that her overall appeal would have carried more with the popular vote, and that was an oversight on my part. But yeah, I thought she tore it, to be honest.
Well, I put her at number 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
I put in my little notes, in parentheses, drama and screaming. And it's because she gave us both. And I thought it was really theatrical and dramatic and really like big scope with like the stage full of smoke and everything. I thought it was very delightfully camp. But I guess like the crystal dress and like the hair and not really doing anything else just like won't win you Eurovision. But honestly, I still don't really know what will at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, me taking notes from the semifinal, my notes were also drama, but her voice wasn't there. I thought there were other Balkan pop acts that kind of like outsold in regards to like that genre.
No, I agree.
Absolutely.
Like, she made it because she was in the easier semifinal, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think the better Balkan acts were in the first semifinal, and they had better songs, but they were just so competitive that they just got excluded. Also, her makeup was very drag-esque. Like, her eye makeup was, like every single time was, like, very heavy, and, like, the eyelashes.
Yeah.
Balkan girls, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Like, I was not mad about this.
No, I thought she tore it.
Yeah. So we have in 20th place, Azerbaijan with Matahari by Effendi. I thought that was much higher. I put it as 10th place. It was a banger. It wasn't like remarkable, but it was like a song you would play in the club, you know?
I had them at 7th. I honestly thought that what they were doing was really cool and fun. They would do better. I guess the public did not agree.
Yeah,
Neither did the adjudicators, but whatever.
I was like, this is the song. It's like, this is the song that I'm going to go running to. I'm going to like start sprinting when they start going off. And it's like these like beautiful girls, like these like 3 like fabulous ladies with their bodies together, like huge hair, like well, I guess it's not 3. It's the one girl and her backup dancers. But anyway, I was just like,
the garters were iconic.
Garters. Yes. I was just so breathtaken by their little pop moment that I was like, who could resist this? But I guess.
And when they did the thing where they were like all in a line and did like the different hands, like I don't know, the whole thing just was a beautiful mix of culture and pop. It was just so cool.
Yeah, it was the first time they had any Azerbaijani language in a song, and like there was a lot of controversy during her selection because of the political nature of her, where she was basically very vocal about the Nagorno-Karabakh situation with Armenia and Azerbaijan. and also posted for the president of Azerbaijan, which actually is why Armenia was not in this year. They couldn't afford after the recent conflict. So like that kind of played a role. But like it's a guilty pleasure song. Like even if you like don't like them politically, I mean, it was like it's a banger. Like I run to this song because I'm like, yes, let's like do like Mata Hari, like let's dance to it, you know?
Mata Hari.
Yeah. No, it was literally the one song that I heard that made me forget about any geopolitical conflict that the singers might have been involved in.
Yeah. It was good. Like they should have done better, but like also I get why they didn't do as good as they did. Number 19 was Belgium, The Wrong Place by Hooverphonic. I had them as number 6. So, but like I get why they're not as tasteful. Like they're kind of like country-esque, Lana-esque, and I assume that's not as popular with a lot of Europe as it would be with American gays, you know?
Wait, this was who was this?
Belgium.
Yeah, this is the only ranking I got right, and it was because I was utterly uninspired. I thought it was just like whatever. Gian said that it was like a really well written song and stuff, and I was like, I just I couldn't muster up the heart to care.
Yeah.
I gave them 9th, and I like thought that it was giving very like acoustic, kind of Kelly Clarkson, very much her like Meaning of Life album.
Really?
And I guess that just doesn't really resonate with the European audience.
Yeah. I mean,
There's no pizzazz.
Yeah, it was very. She got really fucked because she was placed after a bunch of really intense pop songs, and then she's kind of like the calm singer with like her kind of acoustic band. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like the performance she was giving, it was like very much sort of like a terrified, sort of like meek performer.
Mm.
Yeah, I just remember this sort of like tormented look in her eyes that just wasn't selling it.
Yeah. Well, the next one, 18th place, was Norway with Fallen Angel by Tix. Giant douchebag. He should not have been in the final. That's my opinion.
He looks like he's done horrible things to women. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I had him as 19th, so like it wasn't too far off. Like
I had him as 20th.
Okay. Norway.
Sorry, I spaced out. What country are we on?
We're on Norway.
Oh God, I don't even remember what he did.
I have nothing nice to say about this.
Yes. Oh, I hated that. I put this at 24.
Yes, I think I was around the same. Angel and Devil play is not sexy unless you are doing a last-minute costume to a frat party. And even then,
it literally looked like a shitty frat party. And I'm sorry, you can't have chains around someone's wrist and not make it sexual.
No, exactly. They managed to desexualize bondage, and that's a crime. And then the other part is he kind of had a shitty Axl Rose vibe, which I think is a crime. Honestly,
I reminded me
of Post Malone. The hairband and the sunglasses. It was just
It was all just like very neutered. It's like I found like a lot of the successful performances tonight, like all had like a thrilling kind of cultural edge or like had like some sexual motivation behind them. And this was just like, here is like an unsexed like man creature, like with chains and some angel wings on and sunglasses.
That's how
exactly.
I felt. Yeah,
exactly.
It was just like, it was a little too Eurovision for Eurovision. You know what I mean? Like it was like too trying to be camp and over the top. And like it works for the Scandi countries, but it doesn't work for anyone else. So next we have Israel in 17th place with Set Me Free by Eden Elaine. I mean, we could all talk about the recent controversy. I mean, the fact that their song is called Set Me Free as they're doing like brutal apartheid is kind of like ironic. And the fact they didn't do top 10 kind of shows like people either didn't vote for them from political reasons or just also agreed the song was kind of generic and like forgettable.
And it's funny because like Israel is not a very diverse country at all. So them putting like a like a woman of color, like a Black woman at their forefront. It's like, this is designed to be like their big like culture breaking moment, but oops, they are genociding Palestinians.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were really shopping for like the goodwill of the European public, and they did not make it through checkout. And like the whole thing, like it's really funny because looking at the Set Me Free lyrics, it's like the performance was very, very clearly a ripoff or homage, whatever you want to call it, to Ariana Grande, who also likes to use the word free in her lyrical motifs. And to be honest, like I'm not a huge Ariana Grande stan to begin with, and I didn't like the apartheid knockoff of her any better. So I actually had them 25th. I really did not think they would do well.
I had 13th.
I kind of thought the song was kind of like nicely produced, so I put it higher. I put it at number 10.
Okay.
In my parentheses, the song is cunty.
Yeah. So she also has like, they did a very good revamp. Honestly, one of the best Eurovision revamps of a song. So initially their song had no high note, which probably made them go to the finals. And they really revved it up. And that's the only reason I think they made it to the final, because they would not have made it if their original song broadcast. I mean, she's also like the Ethiopian, like Jew, like rescue person. Like she is the woke symbol, as she was like removed from the IDF program to become a Eurovision star. So it's like she was the diversity quotient, because like they're like, oh well, Eurovision or Israel's so racist, and it's like we're gonna choose the Black Jewish person. It's like no one bought it this year. No one really was like, oh yes.
No.
It just seems to me like everything in Israel is like machine selected to like serve a little task. It's like, okay, now we're going to export Gal Gadot to be Wonder Woman. Like now we're going to put this girl as our Eurovision contestant. It's like everything feels
There's a
very
whole
like,
communications team behind all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, which is disgusting. I can't deal with it when it's like art, but like on a national political level, when it's so transparent, it's just very embarrassing.
I hated her outfit too, like both outfits. Just like kind of generic and like trying to be sexy, but there was no sexualization of it. You know what I mean?
But what about the reveal?
That wasn't
The
the
reveal
though.
Yeah,
The
reveal game.
They shifted cameras so that you never saw the reveal, which is kind of what you want to see when they rip off the outfit. You know what I mean?
Very true, Sam.
Yeah. So number 16 is Cyprus, El Diablo. I had this number third place. It was a bop. She was iconic and she was hot. Also another like glittery dress. What did you guys think of it?
I didn't. I didn't think of it. I think it's kind of like a fate of the ordering, because having it so early in the sequencing, especially when there's like a lot of like big pop songs like in the rest of the program, it's like easy to slip by. And I don't understand what it's about or like what it's doing. However, the girl is very skinny and pretty.
Yeah.
And we said that it was like kind of a medley of Gaga's Bad Romance and Alejandro.
Yes,
and,
I thought Alejandro was a good observation of yours.
And Gaga just did it better. So yeah, no, I was not a fan, but I thought that it would do better than it did. I actually had it in 10th place. So I was a bit off on that one.
I had it on 15. I was close.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, GM? What was
I don't remember quite where I put it, honestly. It's nowhere high. It was not a winner for me.
It was better in the semifinals, I think. It kind of like
I agree. She seemed a little off.
Yeah. Well, number 15 was Serbia with Loco Loco by the girl group Hurricane. I'm honestly surprised they did so well. I had them much lower. I had them 18th place. But they served the Balkan magic. Like, they were the Pussycat Dolls, except they can all sing. Like, you know what I mean? As some choreography.
Yeah.
Body.
No, Serbia was the only one that I got correct. I had them at 15th place, so I'm proud of my Hurricane Girls and Loco Loco.
Loco. This is another one where I'm like, what is the perspective here? It's like, what was the vision? I mean, I know that these songs like aren't engineered to be Eurovision songs most or some of the time, but it's like you would think there'd be more of like a discerning eye with like who gets to this point.
Yeah. So Serbia was a returning artist who was potentially going to be in last year, but then Eurovision cut them out. So they were one of the few artists that actually got just like guaranteed a return by the host country.
Huh. I mean, they were like not bad. I mean, I thought they were like fierce, but it's like fierce is just fierce. Like I need one more layer to the onion, please.
They sacrificed their scalps for that performance.
With those hair extensions.
Yes.
Their hair was long. It was great. They were doing some choreography, which, like, honestly, I'm never mad about.
Never.
So above that was Sweden at 14th place with voices by Tuse. I don't know. He's the same artist they send every year, which is like a kind of like African, Swedish, pop song. And it's just very generic and crap. But, like, the juries love this shit.
Yeah.
I think I said he seemed likable when he was performing, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought it would do better because like they were kind of going after the woke, the sort of woke appeal, and I thought that would do better with the jury. So I actually thought that they would do well, but I actually was just so angry at the song that I placed them in 23rd because I hated it so much.
Well, I'm kind of glad to know now, like when we do this next year, like that the wokeness does not really earn many Euro points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at 11th place just because Sweden always does well, but I'm kind of happy they kind of tanked in this Eurovision because they don't deserve to be high ranking anymore if they're going to send the same crap every year.
I love
Maybe
hearing
they'll
Sam
learn
say
something.
tanked.
Yeah,
Can you say flopped, please?
they flopped.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
This is my ASMR.
Sexy.
So
Sam saying
13th,
gay words. Sorry.
13th place was Moldova with Sugar by Natalia Gordenenko, which honestly, that shocked me how high it did. I had it as 25th place, but like they knew the audience. They were like, we're going to go for the gays, and apparently they did it well. They did it. Like,
Well, it was funny because when she was performing, we were all like, this is like not working. It was like she was like off. In my notes say Barbie doll monster. Like she looks like someone's pointing a gun at her the whole time. Like she looks like she's being held captive. But I mean,
Her
that
hair.
her hair, that scary hair. But I mean, that is like the appeal of women as coordinated by the gays is like in a little bit of pain for the sake of beauty and glamour.
mm-hmm.
That's actually true. The more tortured they look, the more the homosexuals live for it.
Yeah, the more the
I
homosexual
also-
elates and claps.
Exactly. I also didn't think they were going to do well. I gave them 21st, so I was quite shocked.
Yeah.
I gave them 9.
Wow.
Damn.
You
Work.
were better than us. I mean,
A woman's intuition's never wrong.
she
That's
did
right.
look like terrified. Like she's like, oh, Stasi's gonna like just like gun me down if I don't get like top 10, which she did.
That like glued on smile.
Yeah, she had very hot dancers though, and I think that matters. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that does a lot of goodwill for you.
Yeah.
It does.
Number 12, we have Portugal with "Love Is on My Side" by the Black Mamba. Another shocker. I had it as 20th place. It was very
This
like
is my 25th.
Gian mentioned.
17 for me.
Yeah, Gian called it the Portuguese Prince, which is very accurate. Like, it was a moment, but also a forgettable moment. You know what I mean?
The thing that was
I
so
mean-
frustrating is he's actually a very talented vocalist, but the song was just like such a snooze.
Yeah.
I wrote unwatchable and I hate love. I hate people like this is why I hated the Germany song too. It's like I literally don't care about love as an emotion. If it's like not like crushing, destructive love, I'm not interested. It's like if you're like love is happy and fun. I love love. It's like, oh my God, shut up.
It's like
Go back
good
to
for you, but
Portugal.
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, people love that like schmaltzy crap though. Like it does well, to be honest.
Yeah, you were saying
talking,
some
I'll be back
bitch is
in just a
gonna
second.
dance to that song at her wedding, probably.
Yeah, Gian said that. Love is on my side. So next we have Bulgaria with Growing Up is Getting Old by Victoria. Also a surprise. I had it at 17th place. I'm glad she actually hit her notes because in the semifinals she sounded like shit. But like it was just like it was very boring compared to the rest of the competition, you know?
Yeah, no, I thought that like Balkan Billie Eilish would have done better. In my notes, like because the video that I saw was from the pre-performance video, where she was obviously perfectly on pitch. And I thought that her voice was incredible and the song was really interesting. But like watching the live performance, the costuming, the set design, and the fact that even in the final, like, okay, she was more on pitch than in the semifinal, but in general, she still wasn't really that on, I felt like. And it was just kind of boring. And I felt she was really leaning into the whole like dad thing. And unless you're going to be like spreading your dead relatives' ashes on the stage or like bringing out their embalmed body, I couldn't care less.
What do you think the
Yeah,
sand
this is
was?
Eurovision. Like, you need to pound your pussy into the urn or I don't care.
Yeah.
Bingo, baby.
The sand
Give
that
us
was,
something.
The sand that was dripping down was her dad's ashes. Like, what do you think was happening? Like, it was kind of doing a Spanish thing where, like, you also have a relative that died, but she did it better. Like, she has the Billie Eilish effect, which is very, like, 2021. And I think it's why she ranked so high, even though the song was kind of forgettable.
And went on and on. At the end, I think I said, I was like, get off the rock hound. Like, I'm tired.
Yes, exactly.
So number 10, we have Greece with Last Dance by Stefania. I
cannot believe this placed so high.
I placed number 9 for my prediction. She's an amazing, for one, she's very beautiful, and she wore an amazing, like, purple, like, jeweled jumpsuit. But the staging, it didn't give me what I needed.
The production literally worked against her for this. Like, watching the semifinal where the chroma color worked as it was, I still only had her, or chroma key, I still only had her placed 12. But in the finale, like all the green screen shit they were trying to do came out so bad. There were so many errors. And like, she's gorgeous. She can sing. Like, she has the stage presence. Why did we need this Blue Man Group-esque green screen bullshit to sell it? All it did was distract from the fact that you have this like gorgeous broad in front of you that can sing like no one's business. Yeah, it tanked it for me. Like, I don't know. I thought that she would have been much more effective up there on her own. And yeah, I think the stage design and production really killed her.
Well, anyone who hides the faces of such beautiful young gay men deserves like the lowest circle of hell.
Yeah, no, when it cut to like all of the jury stuff and we could actually see the male dancers, they were all so hot. I was like, why are you covering their faces? This is a crime.
Give us back our Greek men.
Yeah, they really fucked up staging, which is kind of surprising because Greece is not the worst at staging, and they kind of like hit the beat. Like, once they stopped doing the background stuff, the presentation excelled beyond what it should have. Like they should have done like dancers and her singing, and it would have been great. Like, number 9, we have Russia with Russian Woman by Maniza, a Turkmenistani Russian. I have it as 16th place, but it was a moment. I mean, it was a woke tard moment, but it was great. What did you guys think?
Well, this is like another girl boss, like kind of like diversity anthem. However, this one had like the fun, like culture meets pop thing that I kind of am coming to desire from Eurovision performances. So I think it kind of escapes the fate of just being another forgettable like plea for wokeness, because it does have like that engaging element of like the culture meeting contemporary thing. And the costuming and staging was really great. She has a lot of charisma. I enjoyed the number.
Yeah.
I remember her zooming around the stage in that big dress and thought it was fabulous. And I mean, if you look at Eurovision as kind of a geopolitical tool, I think it was probably a smart choice for Russia in terms of their global image to try to market themselves as a very like pro-woman woke society to drum up some goodwill with the Europeans that are convinced they're, a backward society. I had it placed 13th, actually. So I thought
that was close to mine. I had it at 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important because I think everyone's perceptions are Russia is this backwards place, but we have to remember, like, Russia's selection is a national selection for the national broadcaster. They chose the song as a contestant. They won, and they let people like drag queens and stuff be represented in the performance. And that's kind of not what you would perceive as Russia selecting for their geopolitical representation through Eurovision.
Isn't the name of the song Russian Woman?
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think it's very much indicative of what life is like in more cosmopolitan Russian cities, right? And I think it's very good for a lot of these Europeans that are only being fed like Western media narratives of what life in Russia is like to kind of see maybe a different perspective. So I thought in terms of the geopolitics of Eurovision, it was a very probably good choice. And it's really cool that it came out because it was literally organic. It was what the public of Russia wanted, right, for their song.
Yeah.
So,
it's the best of all the woke numbers for sure, even though the only thing I think about when I hear Russian Woman is like Anna Karenina jumping in front of a train. But
Ruskaya Zhenshina.
Yeah. So next we have Lithuania with Discotheque by The Group, returning artist. They had 220 points. Honestly, like I had them at 14th place. They were fine. Like they were like a moment, and they were fun, but they're not memorable.
It was a snooze.
Like I hated it so much that I placed it 24th.
Damn.
Yeah, I really was not a fan. Also, this is the last nail in the coffin for the Margiela Tabby boot. Like after this performance, the Margiela Tabby boot is done.
Yeah.
Over.
No, it was very like, I think they fell in a trap of like a lot of artists returning this year of they had a song that was so iconic in the last year COVID contest, which got booted because all songs were scrapped. And this year wasn't as good as last time's. So I think they were kind of fucked over by that. Like their song last year was much better. I mean, number 7, we have Malta, Zimikas by Destiny, a former Junior Eurovision winner. I had her in 5th place and she got 7th place. I think she's a great singer. They chose a shitty song for her.
And they put her in the worst boots of all time.
Yeah.
The styling needed so much work. I had her in 6th, so I was quite close. But no, I mean, especially with the lighting that they used, it was like, it just was the most unflattering look for her. I felt because she's really a talented vocalist. The song was not doing her any favors. The stage design was not doing her any favors. And I think you could kind of see it in her facial expression during the deliberation when all of the jury votes were coming in. It was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, because she was projected for a while to be the potential winner. But I think because there was no chorus and it really didn't give her the advantage of showing her vocal abilities. Like she is an exceptional singer and they only had a short snippet where it gave her the vocal range she needed to show off. Like it just didn't give her any benefit. They kind of fucked her over. And I know she chose the song of the bunch, but like she should have known better.
Yeah.
I mean, and this did way better than I ever would have wanted it to. I put it at number 23
Okay.
because
Word.
I just we have one Lizzo. Is
Yeah.
that not enough?
Yeah, true.
I think she's a more talented singer than Lizzo vocally, but her song does not compare to like what the Lizzo.
It was
music
just kind of
does.
humiliating to watch, and they made her do that stomping choreography.
Yeah.
Shifting her weight from side to side. And can she play the flute while twerking? Because Lizzo can do that. Can she do that? I don't know.
I mean, this
I
woman
don't.
like stepped on the stage all the way in Europe, and a few tides came up over the horizon here.
Oh man.
Okay. So next we have
Fukushima round 2.
Here we go.
we have for number 6 place we have Finland with Dark Sided Blind Channel. They had one of the second highest, I believe, public votes of 267 votes, 364 or 300 points total. I'm surprised they did so good. I mean, I'm not surprised. They were very good. Like they were a moment. They did the screams properly. Like Finland knows what works for Finland, and they went back to it finally with the rock band, and they killed it.
They did.
I think what fucked Finland over is that Italy, and we'll get into Italy later, but I will just say that Italy gave a more authentic or convincing sort of punk or rock experience than what Finland gave. And for me, when I saw the comparison, I just found Finland to be like not enough camp, like not enough like Rammstein type of metal for it to like really put it over the top. So I actually put Finland in 22nd because I thought compared to the performance that Italy gave in that same category, they just really didn't deliver.
I put Finland in 8.
It felt corny to me. It felt corny to me.
I
liked it. I liked it. But yeah, it doesn't have that much of a compelling visual element. Like they don't have that commanding of like a stage shimmer. It's like they're there, and I like the song. I like the song more than I like the Italian one. And I think it's very cute to imagine like 14-year-olds like in some random places in Europe, like hearing this and then really relating to it.
This is so punk rock.
Mom, I hate you.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to them.
I love the scream at the end. The scream at the end.
Yeah, the scream is great. And they didn't do that during the semifinals, right?
No, I think they were saving their voice for the final, which honestly, I don't judge them for. Like, they were an easier semifinal, and they knew they could hit it in the final. So I'm like, why would you destroy your voice for, like, a semifinal vote when, like, most people don't watch that?
Well, and it was a surprise, right? And I think having some kind of surprise in the finale isn't a bad strategy.
Yeah.
Like if you know you're going to make it through your semifinal, like why not save it for the finale?
Sure.
So number 5, we have Ukraine with Shum by Goa, who had 364 points. I had them in 7th place, so I was pretty close. Honestly, they were the most ethnic of the bunch. They gave a performance, they gave staging, they gave it all. I think the thing that made them not rank higher is it was so ethnic and kind of alienating people who don't like get into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're new into this, like it's not going to be something that's for everyone. But if you like,
well,
go ahead.
I don't know. Initially, just having seen the highlight reel from the semifinals, I hated it. Because all I saw was the really, really fast section at the end. And I thought that was the entire thing because it didn't show the dynamicism of the entire performance. Watching the finale performance, watching it progress from beginning to end, I was completely won over and thought it was fantastic. And I was actually shocked that it didn't do better than it did because after seeing the finale performance, I actually moved it to 2nd place.
Ooh, I love that. No, I was obsessed with this from the first time I saw it. And I think the thing I like best about it is that it does have like that exciting, like new kind of cultural experience thing. And it's like, the thing that's so wholesome and cute to me about Eurovision, it's that all of these like politically disparate, like completely unrelated countries like kind of come together under one banner to do like dumb song and dance. And I think it's like such a cute little venue for people to show like a fun take on their culture. So it's like, this to me is like, it avoids the wokeness stuff. It has a cool visual element. It's about the performance. It's exciting. Costumes, drama, fast yelling. It was like, I was riveted. This is like what I want from Eurovision, I guess. And I put it as number one. It was heartbroken to see that it did not go higher.
I mean, top 5 is still good.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, you could literally hear this like playing in a mix in a club in Berlin. Like, this is like it yeah, it was weird and experimental in terms of Eurovision to like go that deep into like your cultural sounds, but the way they styled it, like it literally could fit into like any techno club in Berlin.
Oh my God, I want to make out with some like 30 something daddy, like with that song on the background. That would be so sublime.
I love that.
Exactly.
Zach, I want to see you do a drag queen performance to this song.
Well, I'll see you next year, baby. Eurovision 2022.
Yeah, I love it.
Representing Japan, it's Zach Langley Chi Chi.
So number 4th place, we have Iceland with 10 Years by Daddy with 378 points. I had it in 2nd place. I'm glad it was top 5. They honestly were the projected winners of last year, and they probably would have won. And I think they had the issue of their song was so good during the projected COVID year that they just had it against them where like their songs would never compare to like their winner song. You know what I mean? Like, it was very cute, and like their staging was very like a warm hug, but it wasn't. It didn't compare to what their other song was, which everyone who knows it, because it was so international in its reaction, was like, oh well, this isn't the last year's song. They didn't beat it.
Truly. I mean, this is my second choice, and actually my top 4. I have all of the top 4 in my top 4. I just have them misarranged.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. But I loved this because like Ukraine, it's like the same cultural thing with like a cute little spin on it. It's also very performance based. Like, there's no gimmick. It's just very likable and charming. And even though it's like not very like bold or like thematically fascinating, it's like very charming.
Yeah. It was cute.
Yeah, for me, I actually had them 11th because I don't know. I thought they performed it really well. I thought the gimmick with the guitars forming the circle was really cool, but I just didn't find the song underneath it all that kind of compelling. I was like finding myself more engaged with how they were selling it. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute because I think people knew he was a projected winner for last time, so they felt bad. But also the song was about him and his wife being together for 10 years, who was on stage with him as well. She was one of the guitarists. So it's like, it was very cute. It was very like feel good song. Like, it wasn't, I would never put it as the winner. Like, that's my.
It was a good song to ride on the goodwill they had from 2019 or from 2020, right? It was a good choice.
Yeah. So number 3rd place, my projected winner, who did not win, Switzerland with Toute l'Univers by Jean's Tears with 432 points. Honestly, like, I think...
Now, actually, I'm going to cut Sam off really quick because I don't want to hear what she has to say about what she thinks about this song. I'm going to tell you what she thought. Little Miss Sam over here was like, Switzerland is going to win. You'll see. Switzerland's going to win. They're great.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. He's so cute. It was like this for like 25 minutes as they were doing the jury voting. And me and Christian were so woke. And we're like, they are not going to win. They aren't going to win. And that is what happened. They did not win.
We came in with the based take, and yeah, it was controversial, but it was brave. So whatever.
Yeah. Sorry to expose you, Sam, but you're canceled now.
You know what? Everyone can suck my dick. No, he is the best vocalist of the bunch. I do think his semifinal performance was more like gripping because like I didn't get the same goosebumps I got in the first one, which I mean, like, who knows? Like, I watched the same performance twice now, so like, you know, the same effect. But it's like, I'm glad he got top 3. Like he deserved top 3, and like that's
My
fine.
my notes on the semifinal performance were Harry Styles looking ass outfit with some really limp wristed hand wringing. Again, great vocalist. Love the song. He's just not selling it. And those pants, as Gian said, the pants were criminal, absolutely criminal.
He was going for Swedish design or Switzerland designed, and that's what they went with. And I think it was the wrong choice, but like it's a cultural.
It was not giving Art Basel, that's for sure.
They're trying to do the cultural exchange, and it didn't work out.
I had them 4th place, to be fair, so I thought they would still do well.
Yeah. What about you, Zach? What place were they in?
I actually realized I was lying earlier when I said my top 4 was all correct because I guess Iceland was not in the top 4. I forgot. I had
Iceland was 4th place.
Wait, okay. I had said France, Italy, Iceland. Oh, Ukraine was not in. That was what was wrong. I put Switzerland at number 7.
Fuck you.
Ooh, got him, coach.
Yeah. No, he was good. I don't know.
And you think he's cute? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, he was cute. I mean, cute in a sense of like his body language and the way he was presented, at least in the earlier stuff. They did less shots of him in the finale, so
yeah. As he got more and more distressed, they started cutting more and more away from him.
Well,
yeah, because like the goodwill that he was earning in terms of the awkward kind of cute, not self-confident thing started to melt away as soon as the votes were coming in and Switzerland started doing good. Like you looked at France and that girl was genuinely shocked that they were doing so well.
She's French.
And Switzerland was like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, like, wow.
Okay, well,
wow.
France is like naturally like kind of like dipshitty, and like Switzerland, like I would also be like ecstatic if I'm getting lots of 12-point votes. So like I don't think it's like against him. Like I think anyone else who there besides like a French person would be like, oh, I'm so excited, I'm winning. And like last year when Sweden was projected to potentially win until they lost against the Netherlands, was like so confident they were gonna win. So I don't put it against him. I think he thought he was going to win, and he didn't win. It's fine.
Such is life for a, how can I put this nicely? Fully fleshed young gay man with stars in his eyes.
Yeah, we don't know if he's gay yet, though, but we'll see in a few years.
We don't? I saw the wrist.
I was going to say that the limp-wristed hand flinging was saying all we needed to see. Yeah. I don't care what the official narrative is on this.
I think he is too, or at least like something. In second place, we have France with Voila by Barbara Pravi with 499 points.
Major.
I think it was the best of the like 6 that went straight to the finals. I don't know. It's memorable because of the Voila part, but like it doesn't give me anything. Like
that's fair.
I loved the performance. I loved her kind of doing that running in place, shaking her hands, like very street performer working for the points type performance. I don't know. I thought she really delivered. I loved the hair. I loved the outfit. I loved the promo video with all those weird, like masked Dementor figures in the train yard. From start to finish, I love this one. I had it placed first. I thought it was phenomenal.
Well,
I love how civilized we are now that we're actually recording the podcast, because when we were on the live stream, we were hamming it up in violence about this number. This was like a big split between the Twinks and Christian and I, because Christian and I love the song, love the performance, and the Twinks could not tolerate it.
I put France as 12th place, so...
Oh, and we made a bet with Gian, who said it was going to be less than 13, and he lost the bet, so now he has to eat hot wings
live for everyone to look
to point and laugh.
Yeah,
I love the song. I thought it was very theatrical and drama, and I thought that she had a commanding stage presence and was just lovely and engaging to watch.
We love to see it.
I like to see that non-English songs though could do so well. Like the fact the top 3 songs were all non-English, I think is kind of commendable. Like, because usually like that's not how it works out in Eurovision. So I think I'm happy that the results went.
Yeah.
And then we have with our Eurovision 2021 winner, Italy with Isete Buena with Måneskin with 524 points. I put them as, I don't know, 15th. Like, watching them, it's kind of, for me, it dragged on. Like, if it was shorter, I could see it doing really well. But, like, the fact it took so long and it was so repetitive, I was a little annoyed they won. I would rather have rather have France win, to be honest.
I agree. Sorry, go ahead.
I had them third, and that was based off of the semifinal performance. And when I was watching the finale, like the last minute, I thought just did not need to be there.
No.
I think the reason probably that they scored so well is I guess the majority of viewers were probably on their phones like while watching and probably checked out after the first like minute and a half of everyone's performance, and that's the only way they really snuck through.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know, I'm sure it was nice, right? It was their first win. It's their first win ever. No?
Yeah. Italy's first win.
Yeah, so
awful.
You know,
speaking as an Italian with Italian pride, I've got to say, bad. they've had better attempts, and this wasn't a good one. And good on them or whatever. But holy shit, bad.
I just got beginner's luck from this because I put it at number 3, and it was only because I watched just the clip. If I had seen the whole thing, I would have definitely put it lower. I do like that the sexually ambiguous kind of like dark twink guy became like the winner, because I mean that's kind of like fun for the culture, but overall the performance is not so impressive, is it?
And if you watched his reaction when they were doing the adjudication,
dumbfounded.
Like there was that, like he was like, we're not gonna win. He was shocked, and that one girl was like thinking she was gonna get it. That was also from Italy, right? And it was just so funny watching the dichotomy of both of them reacting live.
Yeah, the girl in the band for Italy was like bawling, which like, I mean, it's a very big competition. It's one of the most viewed like shows in the world, and the fact you're ranking up in the top tiers and possibly winning, like I'd probably also be bawling my eyes out. So like, I don't blame her. Like, good for Italy. Like Italy, I think deserves a win because they routinely send excellence and they don't get what they deserve. So the fact they won with this, I'm not ecstatic, but I'm glad Italy finally got a win after 65 years of competing.
Yeah, it's good for the culture, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Switzerland's won 3 times. They won with Celine Dion. Like, I mean, they're not like desperate to win again. So like, I don't know. And then I'm glad Sweden didn't do so well. They weren't top 10. Like, that's made me the happiest. Like, the fact that Nordic countries didn't get what they deserve, or they thought they were deserved, made me happy.
Oh my God, there's a huge spider on my wall.
Oh my God,
and there's on a web.
Eat it, protein.
Oh wait, I'm too scared. Wait, I'm gonna use Foucault to kill it. Where'd it go?
Yeah, use Foucault.
I'm using volume 1.
Fist it to death.
Knowledge.
So...
Fist her to death.
I think we can also talk about there was a desperate absence of political performance, which is kind of iconic to Eurovision. I mean, 2019 in Israel had Madonna holding the Israeli and Palestinian flags. We had what is a group called? Hatari holding Palestinian flags. I mean, Azerbaijan is quite known, as well as Armenia, for holding political flags around the Nagorno-Karabakh conversation. And the fact that Azerbaijan never did anything political, Israel, besides their horrible song name, Set Me Free, didn't do political. And then even Ukraine, who's like known for being quite political in their selection, didn't do anything, like, is kind of refreshing, because I think even though Eurovision's not meant to be political, it often is, and this round it kind of was absent of that, which I think was nice. You know what I mean?
It was
what was most exciting. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I just thought it was great. Sorry, the gays are talking over each other. What else is new?
Yeah.
No, I just was like so warmed to have such a COVID-free night, like a whole audience of people with no masks on, like everyone, there's like no references to it really, except like obliquely towards like dead COVID people that were in languages I don't speak, so I didn't have to deal with it. So it just is like, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I can see a day where I don't have to think about COVID anymore. It's very exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Christian? What are your thoughts?
No, I think that was like really, really shocking because I feel like so much of Europe's impressions on geopolitics are laid bare via the judging of Eurovision. And I thought it was very nice to see that kind of left out this year. Like I thought it was great that both Russia and Ukraine made it to the finale, and it wasn't like there was some sort of, pop culture opinion being made on what's happening in Donbass or whatever, right? So I was very, very happy with the way things went in terms of it being kind of an apolitical competition for once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the semifinals, Israel got booed in the audience a little bit when they were like ending, but they've also, ever since the Crimea incident, have started implementing booing suppressant in the audience, because the Russian girls who represented Russia during Crimea were booed so bad, like you could literally hear it screaming for the audience. So they kind of were good about that. But it's like, I don't know, I feel like for this, it's nice to see it not be politicized. It's just about the song and the talent. And that upsets a lot of people who are like, well, we shouldn't have them in at all. It's like, well, like, if you're going to have a contest, at least let's let it like be like kind of like politically neutral. And like we saw a lot of those like political barriers being shattered by like certain countries breaking their demographics and voting for countries across the continent. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, it's like a triumph of art over politics, which is, my entire cultural mission. So, I mean, I was shocked to find that Eurovision is actually like a bastion of performance and beautiful culture. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
It gives me hope for the future. It really does.
Me too.
Also, like
I can't wait to watch it every year from now on. I'm like so obsessed.
It's so good. But like also like the fact they didn't make it about COVID, which I thought they were going to do, was kind of the moment. Like it, like you said, like it made it not feel like we're in like the doomsday. And Europe's doing like far worse, I think, in vaccination than the U.S. And the fact they can have this giant stadium full of people who are not wearing masks is kind of like I love that they're not cucked in the same way like San Francisco or like New York libs are. Like, you know what I mean? Like it felt good. It felt like we're like a normal civilization again.
The only nod to COVID was the theme "Open Up," which I thought was fine because again, it's towards the positive looking side of this ending, right? And like I thought it was kind of cool how all of the intermissions were these like decorated pods, but then you cut to the fact that they're performing on stage with multiple people with a live audience and no one's wearing a fucking mask. The whole thing was so refreshing and nice. And it really feels like we're finally on the tail end of this thing.
There's also the nod of like their pre-shots of them like in like the little houses, which I guess like is a nod to like being indoors for so long. But like even then, it didn't feel like it was explicitly COVID related. It was just like kind of showing some of the personality of the artists in the country before they gave them their shot. Because like overall, it's the expression of the broad demographics of the Netherlands who's hosting it, but also showed a little glimpse of like Greece and Malta, of like their food and their music and their past victories and stuff. Like it was very nice. It was very feel good.
Yeah, and it made sense, right? Because it's like depicting your home country, your home culture, what you're bringing with you to a foreign place, right? That juxtaposition of where you're from and what defines your culture in these like Dutch cities, I thought was kind of a very interesting artistic approach that applies not only in terms of the pandemic, but also just in general, right? Of competing in a different place. It was cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What a beautiful world we live in.
Yeah, super exciting. I'm glad they had it. Like last year, my breaking moment for COVID was like when they canceled Eurovision, because it was so like close to it. And it's like, oh, it's canceled. Like, fuck, this shit's real. And I was very upset. So I'm like glad they did it this year and they didn't half-ass it. Like if like California hosted it, there would be no audience. And this year they had the gigantic.
I still hope they cancel the Olympics. I really don't want to see them.
But it's in China, isn't it?
No, they're in Japan.
LA, I thought.
Oh.
Or no, it's Japan, right? Yeah.
They're here, and there's no vaccines or anything yet. So there's just gonna be a bunch of like fucking athletes running around, no vaccines. I'm never gonna get it. I'm gonna be locked here forever.
Come to
Get
America.
Chi Chi to the Olympic Village.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Live
you know what?
correspondent.
Chi Chi's on her way. I need to get something out of these fucking Olympics, and if it's not gonna be a vaccine, it's gonna be a big.
It's gonna be
athlete dick.
chlamydia.
Yeah. Oh God.
Also, I just want to say, like, some of the songs didn't deserve to be in the final, like Norway. Like,
Dear God.
Croatia had a far superior song in overall performance and quality, and they got screwed. They got brutally screwed. I just saw the results of the semifinals, and I don't get what happened. There was too many.
Yeah, I think Croatia and Romania got fucked, in my opinion.
So Romania had a bad audio, which because like she danced a lot, there was a lot of smoke, so I get why that didn't get through. But like Croatia gave a performance. They served. Like they.
I think Croatia's problem was the fact that the song was like TikTok, but it wasn't. I don't know. I just think that people kind of associated too much with like the TikTok app, even though that wasn't really like.
Oh, I thought you meant Kesha.
I meant Kesha too. I was thinking Kesha as well.
Oh
No, because it was like TikTok, and there was like a lyric like makes you dance or whatever, right? And I think that like people just kind of did with the association of the app and like cheapened it. Because it was a great song, it was a great performance. I just think that lyrically something happened that kind of made people take it in a different direction, and that's why it didn't go through. But yeah, they were wrong.
yeah, I really liked that. The sort of like encroaching smog of TikTok like barely touches Eurovision. Like the K-pop horde is definitely present. You can like kind of hear that sound, but like at least like TikTok is completely absent from these performances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank God.
They're reactive to Eurovision, where like a lot of the past top tier songs will go through TikTok trends, but they won't ever have an influence on the competition. Like,
Yeah, I hope it never does.
yeah, and I think they're trying to make it more media or social media friendly. If you see if like Nikki Tutorials and stuff, who like I don't know if you've really talked about, but like she was one of the co-hosts. I really hope they don't push it more beyond that boundary. Like, I don't want Eurovision to become some social media pop thing. I kind of want it to remain as a cultural, like, Olympics moment where, like, the song and the quality matters more than, like, trends. You know what I mean?
Well, it's totally way more interesting to have it like in this like kind of outdated TV format with like satellite issues and like the language barrier and the awkwardness. It makes for such a more like genuine and crisp kind of cultural event, whereas like if it was all like really clean, polished, easy, accessible social media, it would like lose so much of like the charm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have to make it somewhat difficult to access. You have to make it worthwhile to watch, because then you have skin in the game. Like then you care so much more.
Absolutely.
Also, this year is probably one of the best years of talent and songs. Like, honestly, like 10 different songs could have won the contest. And you really couldn't tell when, like, years back, you could kind of clearly tell who was going to win. You know what I mean? Like, this year, I'm like, it could have been, like, it could have been San Marino. It could have been Cyprus. It could have been France. It could have been Switzerland. Like, we have no idea. And it went somewhere where, like, we didn't even predict it. And it was like, okay, well, that makes sense to a certain degree.
Yeah. But it still manages to be surprising. I think Italy surprised everyone.
Oh, yeah. It surprised them. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really thrilling. I mean, this is my first time, and one of like my favorite memories of doing it, and I'll recall it fondly in the future, is like all of us like getting shocked by like that 300 like Italy vote slam, and like the tension of those last few moments is really so much fun.
yeah, I was like gobsmacked. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I think they might win. And I was like distressing, but I'm like, well, this is Eurovision. Like, Europe's.
Vive la France.
Yeah.
I was like on like, 3 hours of sleep, like several cups of coffee, like a lot of donuts and a half pack of cigarettes. And I was like vibrating in tension for that moment.
Hell yes.
I love that. I think we're going to start wrapping up. Do you have any last comments about Eurovision 2021? I mean, we can start with Christian. You've seen plenty of Eurovisions. Thoughts?
I think this was a great recovery after last year's disappointment. I think that we have a lot to look forward to in terms of where European culture is going and where Eurovision is going. And I'm very excited. I think this was a great welcome back.
Yeah. What about you, Zach?
Well, I was a virgin up until tonight, and now I feel like a loose, dirty whore because I'm gonna be obsessed with Eurovision from now on. It just was like such a wholesome, like cute, positive, exciting, surprising little experience that it's like I'm gonna be thirsty for it until next year. So I feel very thankful that you all saw my Eurovision capacity and invited me on. So thank you very much.
Yes, of course. I mean, you were about to go to, so I feel like you guys would have got the spirit of Eurovision, which a lot of Americans need to catch up on. Especially
because we did our gay porn episode.
Yeah, you guys were iconic in that. If you haven't listened, listen to I'm Popular with at Lexapro/Christian. They talked about the gay porn. It was great. But also in 2022 is the first ever American Song Contest. It's with all 50 states, DC, and the U.S. colonies. So Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, competing with 2 semifinals and a final, and it's run by Eurovision Folk. So maybe we'll have to do another episode of them for American Song Contest, which either will be like a giant shit show or an amazing success. So
I can't wait to find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully both. Until next time, thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye.
Johnny.
Bye.